But I have been having, I had a brutal flight. All right. I flew out of LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, that for some reason, if you go beyond Colorado, you just can't get a fucking direct flight anywhere. I don't get it. When I was in New York City, I could fly to all these places directly. Maybe it's because I was in New York and it was only an hour and a half away. I don't fucking know. It just doesn't seem like you can fly anywhere. So anyways, I got to fly LA to Phoenix, Phoenix to Columbus. All right? On U.S. Air. So I get on the plane, and there's 2 empty seats next to me, and it's getting close to the point where they're going to close the door to the plane, and I'm excited, like, holy shit, I'm going to have this whole fucking row to myself. This will be nice. I can stretch out a little bit, take my carry-on, stick it under the other chair. This is going to be great. Right before they close the door, lo and behold, this fat tub of shit gets on the fucking plane. All right? And I'm thinking, oh, God, not me. Please, for the love of God, don't pick my row. You know when you do that shit, you're just fucking willing the guy to sit down as he waddles his fat ass down the fucking aisle. It's him and his fucking lady, right? So he fucking comes all the way up, comes to my row, and he's just standing there. And I'm hoping he's just standing there because he's putting his stuff in the overhead compartment. I can literally feel the fucking heat radiating off of his body from the 22 years of mistakes that he's put in his goddamn stomach. All right? And what does he do? Oh, yeah, I'm in that row. I'm in your row, so I got to get up. And what does he do? He lets his fucking girl sit by the window, and then he sits in the middle seat. In this fat fucking tub of fucking shit. This dude was so fat, I was sitting behind his back fat. You know what I mean? He was like fat and round. It was like sitting next to a planet with a head. You know, it was like you could, the roundness of this guy. Okay? So he's trying to be less fat. God bless him. So he crosses his arms, when all it does is just cause his fat lat to fucking bulge out even more into my airspace that I fucking paid for. And it's not real. All I'm thinking is, why the fuck didn't he take the window seat and then post up against his girlfriend? My shoulder was getting hot from his arm. He was on me. This fucking guy was on me. If I was claustrophobic, they would have had to turn the plane around. This is how much this guy was in my chair. And I'm thinking, why didn't you just take the fucking window seat, you fat fuck? Have a little bit of fucking consideration, you tub of shit. You know, with your basketball shorts, like you actually never played a goddamn day in your life. His fucking legs spread out like he was going to give birth to a baby calf. You know? Why don't you sit near the window? You know what I realized after a while? He didn't sit near the window because he's so fucking fat, he can't. He can't. If he sat by the window, his other fat lat would have blown out the window. We all would have got sucked out. Unless his tub of shit body fucking somehow got stuck in the fuselage, which if you saw him, wouldn't be beyond you a possibility. Unfucking believable. And he's sitting there. This is what kills me. He's sitting there, and he's biting his nails. And I just want to be like, dude, do you ever stop eating? Is there a moment, and you're literally consuming yourself right now? I know what you guys are thinking. Well, hey, Bill, why don't you fly first class? Oh, yeah? Well, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself, hypothetical person who said that? Okay, I understand I bought a coach seat. I know what that means. That means my fucking knees are going to be in my chest. That means if I'm even slightly leaned forward and the guy in front of me reclines, he's going to hit me in the head. I understand that. Okay? I get it. But that doesn't mean that this tub of shit, I shouldn't have to pay an extra couple of fucking grand, or whatever, $1,500, so somebody else's lard isn't in my lap. I am full on 100% behind you having to buy 2 seats when you're on an airplane. Okay? I'm sorry you're fat. Okay? But you made your choices. This is one of the things. This is a good thing. You got to buy 2 seats. You got less money for cookies. Maybe that'll be a goal. Maybe that'll be your bottoming out. But it's absolutely ridiculous that I'm literally leaning out into the fucking aisle. My giant microwave oven head is out there, and then I got to deal with the stewardess going, excuse me, sir, can you not share in this here, please, sir? Right? I got to watch if I can't start yelling here. I'm in a hotel room again. I already got 1 strike against me. They probably build a fucking file on me. Yeah, I'm leaning out there. This is the best part. The food cart comes. Okay? They ask me they ask the dude what he wants to drink. He goes, "Can I have a Coke? Can I have a Coke?" I just want to be like, dude, how about a water? How about a salad? Are you trying to make yourself even fatter during the flight? Do you know what that soda's going to do to your already distended fucking belly? You already can't even put the fucking tray down. This dude couldn't put the tray down. He tried. He tried to put the tray down. Oh, my God, this fucking guy. I swear to God. The thoughts I was thinking, it was embarrassing. I was sitting there thinking, like, I'm so glad this dude's going to die young. Can you believe that? I'm not happy in real life that that's going to happen. But that's how fucking uncomfortable I was, and that's how fucking mad I was at this guy. Absolutely. You got to buy 2 seats, people. You got to do it. I love when they try to leave the fucking arm up, too. I don't play that. I fucking shave that ham right down. I bring the fucking thing right the fuck down. Fucking sit here making me uncomfortable, and you want to relax? If I could, I'd put my foot in your chest and make your belt even tighter. That's what I do to you. Cut off your circulation to your legs. Maybe you'd get up and take a walk. There's no excuse for it. And I know this is probably coming off insensitive, but you know something? I've been a redhead my whole life. Nobody gives a shit. We're not considered handicapped. We're not considered handicapped. This always happens when I scream all weekend. We're not considered handicapped. We don't get our own parking spaces. These tubs of shit, they're getting their own parking spaces now. Making a shorter walk to the store, making them even fatter. The only positive thing I can say about this guy was he only went to Phoenix and he didn't smell. I got to give him that. He didn't smell. I don't know if he fucking jumped in a goddamn pond, killed 200 fish before he got onto the flight. I don't know what he did, but he didn't smell. But I swear to God, you know what kills me is I ranted about this on the radio here in Columbus. And somebody called up the radio station and said, "I'm 5'8", 300 pounds, and I love to fly. I'm never listening to this radio station again." Can you believe that? This dude actually felt like he was the victim. That'd be like if some wife who got the shit kicked out of her ranted about her piece of shit husband for slapping the shit out of her, and then some guy calls up, "Hey, I got issues with women, and I slapped the shit out of my wife, and I'm never listening to this radio station again." Give me a fucking break. You know what you need to do. Eat a salad. Go for a walk. You don't have to put money down for the gym. Just go for a walk. It's actually easier to do cardio when you're not at the gym. Because when you're at the gym, at any point, you can just get off and walk 100 yards to your car. Your car is always 100 yards away. When you walk out your front door and you walk a mile away, what are you going to just quit and lay down on the ground? You got to walk back. There's 2 miles. Easiest 2 miles you'll ever fucking do. Or be a tub of shit. Be fat. That's your right, okay? But buy 2 seats. That's all I'm going to say. All right? Do I wear short shorts, showing off my milk white legs, offending everybody's eyeballs? No, I don't. I'm considerate. I wear the Jordan ones. They come down right over my little white knees. You're listening to the Monday Morning Podcast, and yes, it is insensitive. Doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm right. I'm right on this one. Hey, fatties who listen to this podcast, God bless you. Have yourself a Sunday on a Monday. Right? I understand it. You're an emotional leader. Something fucking bad happened to you. So food is your friend. And then you go in there. I get it. I get it. I want you to lose weight. I want you to feel good about yourself. But until you're at that weight where you're not, spilling into my seat, you got to buy 2 seats. I shouldn't have to suffer because you ate all the cookies in the house. That's not my fucking fault. Oh, Jesus, Bill, we got it. I actually tweeted this week that fat people are the new secondhand smoke. Hey, you want to be fat? Go outside. All right, let's get on to fat guy feng shui. All right, Bill, I wanted to let you know, fat people hate fat people too. I wanted to send you some thoughts, not too many, from a considerate citizen of fat America. Yeah, I've noticed this since I went off on the fat guy on the airplane. I've had fat people and just tall people in general go, I try to be real considerate. of how big I am. I try to make sure I get an aisle seat. I lean out in the aisle. You shouldn't have to deal with that. And then actually, you know what's great about this? Now I can't really make fun of fatties anymore, knowing that so many of them they seem like decent people. What kind of a backhanded compliment was that? You know, I thought they were all pieces of shit, but it turns out most of them are all right. All right, here we go. He says, I'm a big fat guy. I'm usually the fattest guy in the room, no matter where I go. Do you get intimidated when you're not the fattest guy? You know, sort of like the toughest guy in town, all of a sudden goes to another town, realizes that somebody can kick his ass, and his whole world crumbles. Anyways, he says, my whole family's fat, and I've been fat since I've been born. Not to make any excuses, I'm just naturally predisposed to it. And I eat like a typical middle American, not vegetarian, but not 24/7 beer and brats either. Anyway, I'm fat, and I just wanted to let you know that not all of us fatties are inconsiderate assholes. The stereotype of the jolly fat man has been replaced by the selfish asshole who's fat. When I fly, which isn't frequently, I buy 2 seats. Nice! If my sister is with me, we buy a row of 3. And always bring along our own seatbelt extenders. Yes, they sell them. Okay, this is hilarious and fucking sad all at the same time. The plane only carries 2 to 3 extenders, and you never want to be the guy who holds up the plane because you can't buckle, or worse, get kicked off. Jesus, that's got to be embarrassing. Oh my God! Oh, this guy's killing me right here. This is a brilliant email. He's gonna make me never make fun of fatties again. He's bringing me into their world. He goes, those things cost $80, but it's worth $80 to avoid public embarrassment, right? Absolutely. If they told me to tone down the color of my hair, I would buy a fucking swimming cap rather than have them stop the flight. Just so you know, fat people like me don't get to buy clothes in the same stores as normal people. Yes, I did know that. The selection/styles suck, and they cost more. We pay more for bigger cars, extra plane tickets, and bigger clothes, among other things. I haven't done the math, but I figure we burn through furniture faster, too. It's the price we pay for the life we lead, even if it's not a conscious choice. Believe me, no one wants to be fat, but that's the cost of doing business. This guy's fucking hilarious. Just like how there are added costs to being a woman, bras, makeup, pills, etc., or gay, or being gay. He writes ? Chaps, lube, I don't know, or a parent, or a paraplegic, or whatever. Not that it's a disability. It's just our lot in life. But you know what? I've accepted it. I live my life accordingly. I'm not an asshole who imposes on others. I stay to the back of any pack, make sure no one will ever have to walk or sit behind me when I can help it. It's the fat guy feng shui. How do you dislike this guy? When I enter a room or a situation, I always ask, where do I fit in? Literally and figuratively. Whenever I have to eat lunch with my work group, about 20 people, and we're seated at a long table, I never sit between the table and the wall, and I usually sit at the end. Know why? I want to make as few people uncomfortable as possible. I don't want anyone to have to squeeze behind me to get out, and sitting between 2 people just pisses them both off, or so I assume. Jesus Christ, this guy's like a fat Gandhi. When I have to carpool with a group, it helps to drive or have shotgun because then I'm not squeezing the other people in the back seat. The thing that makes me hate fat people, capital letters, hate fat people, is that they don't seem to realize that they're fat. They are impulsive and selfish and don't seem to consider that when a normal guy eats a giant turkey leg at Disneyland, it's lame and kind of funny. Oh, it's lame and kind of funny. But when a fat guy does it, it's disgusting. Or maybe they just got fat and haven't figured it out. Hey, fatty, don't sit there because now everyone has to squeeze past you. I like this guy. He's trashing fat people now. Or, hey, don't act like you're entitled to that, to put your arm around your airplane seatmate because it makes you more comfortable for you. Makes it more comfortable for you, you asshole. He just keeps going here. Or, hey, if you got to eat in public, don't smear barbecue sauce all over your face at the church picnic or eat more than 2 donuts in a sitting, parentheses, airport. And you know what? When I swim in public, rarely, I keep my shirt on until the second before I get in the pool. I don't ride the elevator from my hotel room and walk down the hall to the Hampton Inn pool shirtless because I'm a fat fuck and no one wants to see that. I used to swim with my shirt on, but somehow that's even worse. Anyways, for what it's worth, have a good week. Thanks for the hilarity. You know what? That guy's all right. You know what? I bet there's more fat people like that than there's not. So maybe I ought to lay off the fatties for half a second. I'm just doing this just to fucking, this is what this podcast is. It's like a smoker. And every once in a while, you gotta, I don't even know what you gotta do. You gotta throw a little wet wood in there. That's what that was. I think I'm gonna leave the fatties alone. I think they're actually really considerate people. I think I was wrong about it the entire time. See that? Now I'm gonna wait for the backlash. This is the problem I have with people who are defending the oil companies here. Is basically when you go back to the 70s, okay, and you prove to me that cars they weigh more now. Okay? So you're right on that one. But your logic, though, is still based in that the oil companies were telling the truth in 1976, that 35 miles per gallon was the best that we could do. So you use that as a jump-off point to then prove your point now that that's why cars get the gas mileage that they get today. Is basically, I have to make the leap with you that oil companies are telling the truth. That this $350 billion industry, okay, that is on numerous occasions openly got in the way of any sort of progress. I remember here out in California, I think it was the late 90s. It might have been 20 years ago. I can't remember if it was before I moved out here the first time or right after I left. The air quality out here was so fucking horrific. It's like, I know a lot of people still think it's real smoggy out here. It definitely gets smoggy, but usually just in the summertime. And it's definitely hazy out here, but haze is not fucking smog. Smog is brown. You go hiking and you feel a burning in your fucking chest. Back in the day, in the late 90s, okay? You could see this shit. So anyway, so they put this, they put it to the vote for people, to the people who actually would vote on this shit. And they passed this bill that said, by the year 2000, whatever, 25% or 30% of cars had to run on something other than, the gas, oil, basically the gas combustion engine. They basically paved the way for the big three to then basically start making electric cars. The fucking thing passed. And oil companies got together with their lobbyists, and they went and they just totally dismantled the whole thing, and the whole thing fucking went away. Okay? Which, for all you people out there who are going to explain capitalism to me, I get it. That is their prerogative to do that. Why wouldn't they get in the way of that? So let me ask you this. You're telling me that they would get in the way of that, but they wouldn't get in the way of any sort of progress? Just with the gas combustion engine, they wouldn't get in the way of any of that type of progress. They seem to not get in the way of anything else. Safety, they don't give a shit about. They won't get in the way of that type of stuff. Burning it cleaner, they don't give a fuck about. But miles per gallon, which is their bottom line. Like, do you guys honestly think, like today, like what your car gets, like that's honestly the best that science can do? That is, we are right up against the fucking wall. Is that what you're telling me? Considering if they just even increased it by 5-10 miles a gallon per every new car, that they would immediately lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Why would they do it? Why would they allow that to happen? Why wouldn't they get in the way of that? That's all I'm asking here. And you know something? For all you fucking assholes out there who call me this whack job conspiracy theorist, these are my conspiracies. Bankers are fucking evil. Oil companies lie to you. And insurance companies are pieces of shit. That's basically my three. And that they have enough money to basically buy elections. That's basically it, okay? Those really aren't groundbreaking conspiracies, are they? I'm not saying there's some guy living in the fucking moon. I'm not saying I saw a fucking flying saucer come out of the goddamn ocean and fucking take a piss on somebody sunbathing and then, I saw Ronald Reagan waving out the side of it and then it took off. I'm not saying that shit. I don't buy it, okay? And I actually got emails from people. They sent me these links. They sent me this link of this fucking kid, 14-year-old kid with one of his classmates, built this futuristic-looking Jetsons car, and they got close to 2,000 miles per gallon. I'll send you the link to this. You can go on the MM podcast and look at this thing. The MMPodcast.com. Look at the picture of this thing, okay? And once you're done saying, well, it's not a practical car, it's not as heavy as the other ones, it would never meet the safety standards, and yada, 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 all that fucking shit. Do you honestly think that airbags, navigation systems, crumple zones, and all that, you're honestly going to tell me that that basically knocks off 1,900 miles per gallon? Are you really going to fucking sit there and tell me that you honestly think that they're not? Why wouldn't they get in the way of it? They have the money to get in the way of it, and not only that, they're not even part of this country in a way. They're borderless. They're worldwide. I don't know. So I respectfully apologize for not fucking looking up the weight of the car. I was 100% wrong in that, but I still do not think that I'm wrong or I'm fucking paranoid about here. Oh, by the way, I want to thank the 43,000 people who sent me that story about how the world's largest sperm bank has been turning away the jizz of redheads. Okay? World's biggest sperm bank tells redheads, we don't need your semen. You know how fucking degrading that is? You're showing up to jerk off into a Dixie cup and they turn you away like, nah, that's all right. That's like telling a stripper to put her clothes back on. It's fucking horrific. You know, but for some reason, like, people think that that affects my life. It doesn't. All right? They turn away a lot of fucking people. Okay? If you got different shit in your family, they turn you away. And not to mention, I got to tell you, as a guy, that story has no effect on you. Okay? As far as your jizz. I guess, yeah, I can't sell my jizz to a sperm bank. I mean, what sort of financial fucking crisis am I going to be in where I'm going down to a Dwayne Reed stealing lube and then limping into a sperm bank to fucking shoot something into a goddamn graduated cylinder? You know? Really? I can't fucking do that? You think I give a fuck? Let me tell you something. This is what I've learned. This is what I've learned in life, okay? If you're making money, the ladies want your fucking jizz. I don't give a fuck what you look like. You could be a one-eyed, bald midget troll. They want it in them. All right? Trust me. So any redhead who took that in a bad fucking way, just go out and make something of yourself. I'm telling you. You'll get a fucking 10, and you'll dump a fucking nice unwanted spooge right in her. That was disgusting, yet pro-redhead. How do you like that, everybody? Pro-fucking redhead. I just love how many people sent me that story. Like, I swear to God, I said 40,000, but it had to at least be 100. And that's one of the things that I love about the internet, and I hate it at the same time, because the internet, I swear to God, allows adults to act the same way you acted when you were in, like, kindergarten or first grade on the playground, where you were just completely uninhibited and you were mean. Remember that shit? You just walk up to somebody and be like, I don't like your face, right? You could just be that. And then when you get older, you still think that. You're sitting there in the boardroom going, look at this guy with his fucking face, his stupid fucking tie, right? You think childish shit, but because you're older and mature, you don't say it, you know? Because, you know, you got debt. You don't want to get fired. Oh, he's doing a great job. And they told the boss he didn't like his face. That'd be hilarious. Why did you get fired from your last job? You know, you have to tell them some childish shit like that. Well, the great thing is about the internet is it allows you to tap back into that part of you. You know? And then debunk the fucking myth that when you become an adult, you still don't think those thoughts that you did when you were in first grade because you're older and mature. You still think them. You just programmed not to fucking say them. So, I don't know. At first, I was like, what the fuck? And then by the time the 11th person sent it to me, and then actually this story broke like 2 weeks ago. And like 2 weeks in, as people are still sending me this story, that's what made me find the internet fucking hilarious. The fact that somebody's going to listen to this podcast and then send it to me on Twitter after it, that's like that. That's literally that. I don't like your face, na shit. That's just, it's fucking childish. And 99.9, it's just fucking hilarious. Can anybody explain? I think that's why, or maybe it's because guys are childish. Why I think guys are so funny is because we have the fucking maturity level. I don't give a fuck what we're doing in our lives, how much responsibility we have, how much money we're making, how good a husband or a father or anything like that we are. we're still immature as hell. Unless you're just a fucking boring douche anyways. The fuck do I know, huh? What do I know? The world doesn't want my sperm. Why would you listen to me? Oh, this just in. The world says, fuck you, Bill. Fuck you and your red nuts. We don't want them. Oh, my God. How much of an egomaniac am I that doesn't even bug me, that I actually find it funny? The world just said no to me, and I still feel good about myself. What kind of a man has an ego to that level? I'll tell you, the kind of man who has the balls to do a podcast by himself, who actually thinks he's fucking interesting for an hour. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I was a little too mean on the fatties. I did what everybody does. I judge fatties the way the world judged my sperm. You know, see, people, this is why. This is why my podcast is so mean. This is why I don't give a shit about other people's feelings. This is why I say, cry me a fucking river. I don't give a... The world just said no to my jizz. The fucking world. There's people out there, okay? They're shitting on the side of the road after they fucking, skip out of a bamboo hut. Okay? I come up with my jizz. I'm all set. I'm going to wait for something better. There's people in fucking Colombia, Venezuela. Who are those people that, what's-his-face, helped out? Escobar. They were living at the dump. They were living in a junkyard. He went out and built them a small city. Those people also said no to my jizz. This just in, the world says no. So I just don't have any fucking, I just don't have any sympathy. Yet I do. I understand people don't want to be fat fucks. The same way you understand that you'd like the world to welcome your jizz, as opposed to saying no to it. Hey, Bill, I am a listener who is not only from Hong Kong. Nice! Look at me going international. Sir, you are the first one to call in. Are you SG Man on YouTube? Are you that guy? Have anybody seen that guy? Underrated. SG Man on YouTube. Look up that kid's page. I shouldn't have said he was from China. I don't know if he's Japanese or whatever, but he's from Asia. And this fucking kid absolutely kills it. His AC/DC covers are the shit. And sometimes he improvises solos, and that totally fit the song, but it's not what Angus played. Like, he's a real fucking musician. So anyways, let's plow ahead here. I'm a listener who's not only from Hong Kong, China, but also an Indian from Hong Kong, China. Okay, I am not an expatriate. I have never lived in the States or an English-speaking country. I am from here, yet I listen to your stuff. Small world, huh? I don't know if I'm buying this. You speak English so well that you can go small world, huh? H-U-H. What sort of level Rosetta Stone do you have over there, sir? Although his name, Rohit, I usually don't out people's names, but I think you're okay on the other side of the world. R-O-H-I, Rohit. Assuming perfect surgery has been done, would you rather get a hand job from a woman who has had her hands surgically replaced with a man's hands? Oh, my God. Or would you rather get a hand job from a man with hands of a woman? Which is less gay? This is not a dilemma I face, just a question I randomly thought of and asked a coworker. Peace from the Far East. Dude, are you fucking kidding? I'm not buying that you're from over there. That you can be this fluent and this funny in a second language. You know what? If you are, dude, that's amazing to me. Because I'm about ready to give Spanish another fucking try. Un perro es gris y blanco. 8, 9, 1. El niño bebe leche. Amarillo. Right? And I'm going to speak it. When I speak Spanish, I'm speaking just like that. Like I hear on those Spanish-speaking stations, because that's what the Rosetta Stone told me to do. Just immerse yourself in the language. So I started walking around listening to the Spanish-speaking stations. You actually got to watch the news so you can see a picture and figure out what the fuck they're talking about. But all I would recognize is when they would just say the fucking phone number. 1, 3, 2, 3, 8, 0, 0, 1, 7, 5, 4. All right. Sorry. So what would I rather have? I would rather have a woman with man hands. Oh, but this is the thing, though. They're not man hands. They are literally hands from a man. So they're fucking hairy. Oh, boy. Jesus, dude, this is a fucking phenomenal question. All right, there's no fucking way I could get jerked off with some guy with like 5 o'clock shadow just sitting there. It would have to be the most effeminate guy ever, dressed in drag. That's what I would do. I would go with that because I think hairy, Bigfoot hands on my dick would freak me out, and I don't think there's any way to get around that. If they were like you live in the High Life. Remember that Miller High Life commercial where that greasy hand grabs for that last deviled egg? If that was wrapped around my dick, there's just no way it would happen. So what I would actually go, if you had a really effeminate, bitchy dude, and I could dress him up like a woman, one of those trannies where you really got to look, and had the female hands, I would go with that. And I would have the fucking dude reach through a glory hole. See, that's why those questions are fucking great, because when would I have ever said what the fuck I just said right there? That's what I would do. Have I ever had that thought before in my life? No, I haven't. I'm going to give that guy, that's question of the week. Maybe that's a new section here, sir, from the Far East. I think you created a new one. I know we've touched on this in the past, but you brought it back. We're going to go with dilemmas. If you guys would like to create a new segment on this podcast, if you respond to it, just put them under the heading dilemmas and come up with some tough ones, and I will try to answer them as honestly and funny as I can. Please send all emails to bill@themmpodcast.com. bill@themmpodcast.com. Do not forget the THE, like the Ohio State University, who got fucked in the ass by the NCAA this year. You are guilty of doing what every other program is doing, yet only you will suffer in 2 other programs. And the official website of the Monday Morning Podcast is www.themmpodcast.com. We got a donation button there. It's the first of the month. Your rent's due. Wait till next week. But please click on the donation button. I have the guy who runs the themmpodcast.com. If you haven't gone to it, please go to it. He's doing a fucking bang-up job, and I'm giving him money, and I want to give him more money. So the more you guys donate, the more I can pay him. It's the donation button. Also, we have the Monday Morning Podcast Select. Trying to nail down another guest. We got one. It's 99 cents if you want to get something for your money rather than just throwing it into the wind. That's also on the mmpodcast.com. We also have the ringtone, which a lot of people can't find, so I'll have my guy explain where it is or maybe put it in a more prominent area, the Oh Jesus ringtone. All right, which is it's a great ringtone, people. All right, it's a great ringtone for your girlfriend. She's always nagging you. Then you know not to, or whoever nags you in your life, you know not to pick it up because it goes, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus, oh, Jesus. You're not going to answer that, right? All right, dilemmas for the week. Go to the bathroom like a cat, number 1 and number 2, in a dresser drawer-sized cat box and have a butler empty it every day. Or go to the bathroom like a dog outside in the bushes and have a butler follow you around to pick it up and tell you that you're a good boy. Oh, that's no fun. It's no fun. The second one. I do it outside. I'd squat right down in the fucking bushes. I'm not shitting inside my house. That's why I hate cats. Aside from the fact that they act like stuck-up cunts at a club, who've never accomplished anything other than looking good in life, and they only come around when they fucking need something. The other reason why I don't like cats is they shit in the fucking house. Then I got to pick it up. I don't like that. They're not happy when I come home. There's no give and take. You know what it is? When you have a cat, you're basically Robert De Niro's character in Casino. That's what you are. And your cat is Sharon Stone. She's just there for the amenities. You fucking cunt. Go OD in a goddamn Red Roof Inn. All right. So, yeah, I would definitely be outside. Who doesn't like being told they're a good boy? I get praise. When was the last time anybody out there got praise after they took a dump? Wouldn't that be awesome? I don't know. All right, let's plow ahead. Was that unfunny, sir? Did you not like that one? Was that not up to your comedy standards? Did you feel the rest of this podcast was funnier than that? When I blew my nose before I went off on Jesus? Oh. All right, let's just plow ahead here. Number 2. Would you rather marry a stripper or have your daughter become one? I'd rather marry one.
If my daughter becomes one, that's just complete failure as a parent. And in fact, that's what I think all those videos should be called that you see, when you see on YouTube and you got those girls doing those booty dances, with the goddamn shorts up their ass. Like, it's always like so-and-so booty dancing. What it should be called is so-and-so complete failure as a parent. Oh, results of a complete failure as a parent. Absolutely. I would rather, that's not fair to the kid. I would marry a stripper and, I would just have fun with the stripper. I would just do whatever I could, fuck her if she had one leg pointed west and one leg pointed east, or north and south if she's standing up drinking coffee, doing like one of those little ballet moves. I just bang her like that, and then, then I have a kid and be like, listen, this is the secret in life, sweetheart. Don't do anything that your mother did. Wouldn't she just become a stripper? Is that like a reality show that they haven't come up with yet? Daughters of strippers? Like, what's her face? I think Kurt Cobain's daughter is going to be all right because her mother is such a fuck-up that I think I probably just jinxed her. All right, number 3. Choose between attacked by a bear or a lion on land and between attacked by a shark or crocodile in the water. No fucking contest, dude. I would take a bear or a lion. That's a quick death. That's a quick one. That bear comes up with that bionic bitch slap. That's it. It fucking breaks your neck. You ever see a lion kill something? That's it. It's over. Like, and that's going after like major prey, and it just crushes your fucking windpipe. You're out in 2 seconds. Did you ever, the footage of what's his face? The gay lion tamer out there. The one who looked like, what's his face from Night at the Roxbury. Jesus Christ, this fucking cold medicine. What the fuck is the guy's name there? Come on. What's the name of that guy? Chris Kattan. That one. The gay Chris Kattan. You ever see when that lion grabbed that dude and it was over? In 2 seconds, he just went limp. I take that in a second. As opposed to a fucking shark. You're sitting out there, a shark comes up. First thing it does is it bites into your leg to see if you're edible. Right? Just takes a nice chunk out. Like he's doing some sort of wine testing with your fucking thigh meat. You know what else kills me? Is the fact you can't fucking see it. Your head's above the water and all the evil is just below it. And you're sitting there, And I think that you got that caveman DNA that would just be going off, that there was something in the area, despite the fact that you couldn't see it. You'd be trying to lift your fucking legs up. I think the real dilemma here is between shark or crocodile, and I would have to go shark. I just feel like it's a cleaner death. They got those Ginsu knife teeth. They just come in like a tiger shark. It's just fucking over. Just a perfect fucking killing machine, as they said in Jaws. But like alligators and crocodiles, those fucking things. Those are like those guys who aren't talented enough to be in the NFL or the NHL, so they just go out there and they try to blow out guys' knees, Alligators and crocodiles are like the Bill Romanowskis of fucking predators, Just that thing where they grab onto you. What I like about a shark, you could just bite your leg off. A fucking alligator, they always seem to grab it, and then they go into that roll, and they just so slowly twist it off, like you're some cooked chicken, and they're trying to take the leg. All right, this is getting fucking morbid. That's what I would choose. All right, what else we got here? Have a beautiful lady who stinks, smelly breath, smelly ass, pussy, pits, hair, the works, all stinking, or an ugly fat bitch who smells great. I'd go with the ugly fat girl who smells great. Absolutely. Because I could love her. Or the other one who just smelled like shit but was beautiful, was probably carrying herself like a beautiful lady, would annoy me after a while, and I'd probably kill her. Why did you kill her? Because her fucking pussy stunk and she walked around like she was Giselle. Am I being charged with anything? Because if I am, I want a lawyer. Go fuck yourselves. Well, Mr. Burr, you really just already incriminated yourself. I don't care. The prison will not smell as bad as her ass. Oh, is there anything worse than fucking cold tea? All right, here we go. Chimp first linebacker. Bill, my friends and I frequently get in an argument over whether a world's a world's man competitor or NFL lineman could handle a chimp in a fight. I know chimps can rip faces off and are 10 times the strength of a normal man, but a normal man is a tub of shit. I bet a linebacker could rip some faces off too. What do you think? Yeah, no contest. The chimp would fuck the dude up. Dude, chimps don't fight. I almost said fairly. Chimps don't fight like people. They're not gonna, you're gonna come out and touch gloves, and they're gonna fucking. Sorry, he's got a great jab. Watch out for its right. That fucking thing is just gonna jump on you. Did I ever tell you that time that monkey stole my hotel keys? I was in Costa Rica. Where the fuck was I? Down in Costa Rica, way out in the bush. Army ants took over my fucking little cabana and that type of shit. So they had this pet monkey there. I was a monkey. I fucking hate monkeys. I never had a problem with chimps, but now that they rip people's faces off and their nuts and their feet off, I have a problem with them. I like gorillas, and I like orangutans. Orangutans. I always thought it was tang, T-A-N-G, but it's orangutan. I like those ones. They seem like they've seen it all. They got that vibe. They could just sit down and teach you about life. But those little monkey motherfuckers, I can't stand it, right? So for some dumb reason, because I'm white, I have to walk up to it. Hey, there's a fucking wild animal. Let me put myself in danger. And I walk up to this thing, and it fucking jumps on me. And it's one of those, remember that video, Shock the Monkey? Remember the little monkey in that thing? It was one of those monkeys. Or in the Faces of Death when they were fucking banging that monkey's head till it died, then they ate its brains. Remember that one? Yeah, it was one of those monkeys, right? This fucking thing jumped on me. And within half a second, it turned itself upside down, was hanging by its tail from my neck, reached in my pockets, grabbed my keys, and ran back up a fucking tree. This all happened within 1.8 seconds. And my body reaction was like, what, wait, what? Oh, fuck. So if this thing actually wanted to fuck you up, the thing's not going to come out fucking bobbing and weaving. It's going to be running around the room, jumping up off of shit. You're going to try to figure out where it is, and it's just going to fucking land on your face. And that's going to be it. It's going to tear your face off, twist your foot off, and rip your balls off. And no linebacker stands a fucking chance. Unless, you know what? What if they had on the equipment? Even then, they tear your fingers off. This is the amazing thing about how human beings survived, is everything out there, as far as I can tell, is faster than us, for the most part. It is stronger than us. Faster and stronger. But for the simple fact that we were smarter, we were able to do all the horrific things that we've done with this nature, with this planet. You ever think about that shit? Football players beat the fuck out of the nerds all through grade school and high school. Then what happens? When the real deal goes down, at the end of the day, those nerds become bankers. And those football players get enslaved. And there you sit in your house like a caged animal at the fucking zoo. And where's that banker? You don't even know what the fuck he looks like. All those Facebook cunts, that goddamn Steve Jobs, one of the most overrated human beings on the fucking planet, they win in the end.
Let me tell you about my little Vegas trip here. Came in a day early, and Jim Norton is a huge UFC fan, and I didn't even realize that there was a fight this weekend. So, Joe Rogan, a fellow comedian, he actually hooked us up with these awesome tickets. And I went down and I watched was it UFC 132, I'm sorry, with Uriah Faber fighting some guy Cruz. I don't know the fucking names. There's only so many sports I can pay attention to, but I got to tell you something. You got to go to one of these UFC things. And just especially if you're actually in the performing arts on any level, and as much as you think it's badass to be in a band, or it's badass to be a comedian, or maybe to be a fucking, a fucking professional football player, there is nothing more badass than when Bruce Buffer does your goddamn intro and you come in not wearing a shirt to just fucking throw down with another fucking human being. It was just, I never felt like such a bitch in my life. I just remember just going like, do I really think that I'm some sort of badass doing stand-up comedy? And not to mention, if you're a fan of the UFC, this is another reason why you have to come out and see one of the live events. Is as badass as Bruce Buffer sounds. For those of you who don't watch, he does all the intros for the fighters. As badass as that guy sounds on TV, there's nothing like seeing that guy live. He is unfucking believable. He was so good. I was sitting there, Doug Benson. He was actually there, not to name drop a bunch of comics, but we just started laughing. He was so good, and we just laughing at like the intros. Like the average intro that you get at like a college gig,
your comedian. He's been on Comedy Central and David Letterman. His name is Bill Burr, and here he is.
That's what you'll get at like a college. Or you go to a comedy club, it's a little more professional. They'll be like, hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Punchline in Atlanta. How's everybody doing tonight? Yay! Oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. It's Friday night. I said, how's everybody? Yeah! That's the best we get. Dude, Bruce Buffer. I don't even want to try and imitate. I'm going to and embarrass myself, but he's just like, he just comes out. He has this sound, you know. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time! And everybody's just like, what the f-? You're just fucking looking at the ring. Fighting! And he just fucking, he just goes right through their credits. He's fucking pointing at him in every fucking thing that they've done in his career. He's like enunciating. He's getting his body into it. The fucking fighters are bouncing on either foot. I got amped up. I'm not even fighting. I'm sitting out in the fucking crowd. For half a second, I thought I knew how to fight. It was unbelievable. I thought I had a belt in something. It was the shit. And then, like, every fight I saw was great. The second I walked in, I saw, like, I think I saw 6 fights. 5 of them either ended in knockout or TKO. And I'm so bad with the names. What's his face? Was it Vanderlei Silva? He got knocked out by this dude with red hair in 27 fucking seconds. And after the dude with the red hair knocked him out, or dyed red hair, you know, he's a spy in my world. He fucking knocks this guy out. And if you see the look on his face when he was flexing after he did it, it was one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in my life. Once again, you just look at the guy, and as every guy always thinks, every guy has a nightmare of could I survive in prison. That guy does not have that nightmare. That dude, unrapeable. That's the highest level belt that you can get in martial arts. Oh, speaking of which, somebody knocked out somebody. I don't know what I can't remember. They started to blend together. And at the end of the fight, after he won, he got his blue belt. He said, yeah, I just got my blue belt in whatever discipline. And I was laughing, going like, you know, something like, that's legitimately earning a blue belt as opposed to the blue belt that you get as a fucking accountant rolling around on some mat in a goddamn strip mall. This guy fucking just fought on pay-per-view and got a blue belt. Not even a black belt. I don't know. It was unbelievable. It was just an amazing thing. And I want to thank Joe Rogan once again for totally hooking me up. I'll thank him from Jim Norton, Club Soda Kenny, and everybody else that came out. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. And then seeing Rogan come in, he's so fucking ridiculously good at it. Asks all the questions, you know, you want to hear the answers to, and it was great. The only other fight I had ever been to, I went to a Miguel Cotto fight at Madison Square Garden, and it was a non-title thing, and I didn't know a lot of the guys underneath, and Michael Buffer wasn't doing the announcements, so, you know, they just had one of those old guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to world-famous Madison Square Garden. Back in the day, amazing fights used to happen here, but tonight you will not see those. A non-titled event. It was awesome, man. It was so I highly recommend it. If you haven't gotten the pay-per-view, definitely check it out. Even though I kind of ruined what a couple I told, you know. I guess I gave the results of a few of them. I really am a dope. Well, fuck you. The air conditioning's not on here. So, anyways, how far into this podcast am I? Me that in. And with that, let's get on with the Monday morning podcast. I've already talked about disease. Let's get on with some advice. Okay, Bill, I need some backup on this. Okay, so I recently got into an argument with a bunch of girls about how diamonds are pointless and have no value. All right, sir, before I go any further, you are a man of my own heart. That's exactly what I would be doing. Yeah, why stand there and try to hit on them and get laid when you can actually piss them off by attacking something that you know they love? What a fucking great guy. You know, if you were a comedian, you wouldn't pander to the audience. You wouldn't be going, back me up, ladies. You'd be like, what are you whores doing? Huh? You're all dressed up? Anyways. So he gets in this big argument with these girls that diamonds are pointless and have no value. He goes on to say, obviously, I was bombarded with disagreement. I tried to explain to them how almost every other item purchased has some sort of purpose and value except for diamonds. A TV decodes a signal and projects it on a screen for hours of entertainment. Cars get you to work so you can make a living. Food keeps you alive. Clothes keep you warm. Even 90% of non-essential items do something to prove their value, except diamonds. But of course, they in no way agreed with me. I was told that it didn't matter how much they cost, it was the fact that they make a girl happy. I tried to explain that society forces the idea down guys' throats that they must buy a girl jewelry in order to show their girl they love her. Complete bullshit. I think that if a girl needs something bought for her to prove her man loves her, she's in a shitty relationship. I also tried to explain that guys feel like they need to buy an expensive engagement ring in order to make sure the girl says yes. Also, if it isn't good enough, all the girlfriends will basically think he's a cheap piece of shit. Again, I was met with total disagreement. They just disagree with you on that one? Well, maybe you know what they're actually doing is the reason why they would roll your eyes and call you a cheap piece of shit, not because they feel that, is because they're actually jealous that they didn't get a fucking ring. And they want to make their girlfriend, even though she's a friend, feel like she's settling for less. And if they can just somehow disrupt it, it will actually fill up that hole between their fucking legs. God, that was mean. All right, also, if it isn't good enough for all the girlfriends, piece of shit, sorry. Again, I was met with total disagreement. I leave you with this. If you found a rock on the beach, what would you think it was worth? Nothing, unless someone puts a price on it. And then, oh, Jesus, I was doing so well reading out loud. Let me start again. I leave you with this. I like this. Like I climbed up his mountain and asked him for advice. I leave you with this, my son. And I want you to meditate on this before you go forth and live the rest of your day. I leave you with this. If you found a rock on the beach, what would you think it was worth? Nothing, unless someone puts a price on it. And then another someone is stupid enough to pay for it. Other than that, it's just a fucking rock. Please give me your input on this and let me know I'm not the only one who feels like this. I totally agree with you on that. Of course I do. And you know something? You left out another major thing about that is you don't walk down the beach and find a rock. Okay, what you do is you have some fucking 8-year-old child in Africa and his whole family digging for them, half like with wearing a thong so they won't steal any of them. You know? Those blood diamonds, and if you steal one, they fucking machete one of your arms off, sew you up and make you go back into the fucking mine. That's what you're supporting. That's the greatest argument ever. If your girl's pushing for a ring, what you do is you go out and you rent that movie Blood Diamond starring Leonardo DiCaprio. And when she starts pushing you for a ring, just be like, you know what? I love you to death, but I just cannot support I just cannot support that industry. The children that are forced to go into the mines, the senseless violence if I might as well be the guy holding the machete if I go. I just can't in good conscience buy you that ring. Just go like that. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I think it really goes back to that shit where, women want you to suffer. You know what I mean? They want you to go $4,000 to $8,000 in debt. They want you to do that and go to work every fucking day, knowing that you're working for their fucking love and the use of their fucking vagina. All right? I know that's very cynical, but you know, what the fuck? And I'm not saying all broads are like that, okay? But a good goddamn majority of them are. And I got a good mind to walk up to each and every one of them and slap the shit out of them. What do you think about that, huh? That's one of my reoccurring dreams that I have, other than cleaner oxygen. Just slap the shit out of them, right? Just get that great open hand cheek sound, you know? Normally I would be thinking, what if this gets out? Nobody's listening to this fucking podcast. You can't even find it. And by the time anybody posts this shit up on YouTube, I'm going to be like, that was months ago. I'm an entirely different person. I went to church. I think it is. I think it's a really selfish thing, especially if your guy is not making a lot of money, to make him go out and blow money on a shiny fucking rock that was dug out of the ground by a fucking 8-year-old. You know, just because you're not mature enough as an adult to walk up to all your other girlfriends with your engagement ring and making it be something other than a diamond, or at the very least, making it be a diamond that your future husband can afford. You know? I think most of it goes beyond. Half of it is they want you to suffer. You know? Kiss their fucking feet, and go to fucking work and have to work off this shiny fucking stone. And the other half of it is they want to fucking pull it out in front of all their friends. And you better believe that they want to make all their fucking friends jealous, okay? And the greatest thing that could ever happen is if one of their friends is already married, is if you go a couple carats bigger and they can fucking pull that out. That's like their biggest dick competition, is whoever has the shiniest fucking rock. You know what I mean? It really is fucking stupid. But, oh, I remember what I was going to do. I was going to tell you guys the story this week. I did this awesome, unbelievable fucking gig. It was the Bob Woodruff Fund, whatever you call it. Jesus Christ. I really thought that this story was going to get the podcast going again. What the fuck was it called? The Bob Woodruff Charity Fund auction thing. Bob Woodruff is a reporter. He was in Iraq. He got hit by a roadside bomb, made a miraculous recovery, and this is the fourth annual one where they raise money for his foundation. That's the word I was looking for. His fucking foundation, to raise money for it, for for troops who've been injured in battle and that type of thing. Just one of those charities you just cannot say no to. You have to do it. And it was all the way back in New York City at the Beacon Theater. For music fans out there, they know that the Allman Brothers have been doing the Beacon Run for like the last 30 fucking years. So already I'm thrilled to be there just because I'm going to be standing on the same stage as Dwayne Allman. And I showed up, and the lineup that I went on was the most insane lineup I have ever been on in my career. This was the lineup. All right, Max Weinberg was there, and he put together this big band. So they're out there fucking killing it. Jon Stewart was the host. He goes out, and he kills it, talking about politics in a very funny way, unlike the horse shit that I did on my podcast. He fucking kills it. Then he brings out Tony Bennett. Tony fucking Bennett, who sings 2 songs, absolutely kills it. Sounds as good as he did 40, 50 years ago. Just kills it. Then they bring out, Jon Stewart comes back out, does some more jokes, kills again. Then he brings out Bruce Springsteen. Fucking Bruce Springsteen goes out there and just fucking owns the stage, sliding around, jumping up on the piano, telling jokes, just fucking kills it. Then they had an auction. Well, these fucking rich peoples paid like $150,000 for one of Bruce Springsteen's guitars, raised all this money. Then the second half of the show, they bring out Joel McHale, who had to go on after Tony Bennett and fucking Bruce Springsteen, and he still somehow killed it. Then I went up, and then the final act of the evening was Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal? Jerry fucking Seinfeld, the king, the master, right? And I'm on stage when I went out there, and my whole nervousness of the night was not going on after those people. My nervousness was the fact that nobody had said fuck yet. And it was a benefit, and people talking about tragedy, and I was going to go out there, and my opening bit was talking about, hitting women. So I'm backstage just like mind-fucking myself, going, God, it's going to be too harsh. I shouldn't curse. Jerry's going to get mad at me. The second I curse, he's going to look at me like I'm not even a comedian, and I so badly want his fucking approval, So I'm sitting there freaking out. Finally, my agent just goes, dude, you see what Springsteen just did? He went out, he just does what he does, jumps on pianos, just go out there, do what the fuck you do. I was like, you know what, you're right. You're right. So I went out there, and I didn't say fuck as much as I usually did, but I went out there, I did my hit by women, hitting women, all that type of shit. It fucking killed. And when I get off stage, I'm walking, and Jerry's going on next, so I'm walking off the stage, and there he is, fucking Seinfeld. Who at this point, it's like looking at Elvis, goddamn icon. He's standing there in his suit, just ready to go to work. And I walk by him, I'm just wincing, I'm waiting for him to just completely blow me off, or just be like, why did you say fuck so much? And I walk by him, and he fucking sticks his hand out, and he just goes, really funny stuff, really, really funny stuff. And I was just like, oh, thanks a lot. I try not to curse so much out of respect for you going on next. And he goes, well, I don't care. Then I felt like an idiot. I'm sitting and being all nervous like a little schoolgirl, and I just realized, like, wait a minute. Jerry has always worked totally fucking clean. He came up in the late 70s, right through the 80s, with all these barroom hack comics doing blow. I mean, the amount of shit that guy had to go on after, working squeaky fucking clean. He can't follow me. Well, what the hell was I thinking? No, I was thinking he couldn't follow me. I was thinking that he would be annoyed. And then I stood there, like feeling like I was 90 miles in the air because he said that he thought that I was funny or that I had good stuff. And then I watched him go out there, and it just absolute, not to bring up sports again, but I guess I have to, any port in a fucking storm here. It was like watching, when somebody's just has, they're the perfect swing, perfect jump shot, their form or whatever. That's what it was like. There was just everything that he did. There wasn't one wasted word, one wasted movement, everything. Okay, you want to talk movies? It's like Toy Story. You go to see Toy Story. It's like every line in the movie just propels the thing forward. There's not a line of fat in that fucking script, and it's just like his act. And he goes out there and just absolutely fucking destroyed. And it was awesome. The other night that I had that ever compared to that was one night I was down at the Comedy Cellar in the Village in New York City, and that's the club where if you want to see, go out and see great comedy, or if you want to see possibly somebody super famous that's a comedian just drop in and do a set, that's where I would go. And it used to happen all the time. And one night I was down the cellar, and give me naming a lot of names here, but I never name names of the podcast, but there's nothing bad about this story. So Godfrey was hosting the show, and you know, I was supposed to, I think it was me, I was going on next, but all of a sudden, you know, I can't really tell the story without saying the names. This is basically, just imagine you're sitting in the fucking crowd, all right? You're just seeing no-name hacks like me going up, and all of a sudden the host goes, hey, everybody, we got a very special guest that just dropped by, wanted to do like 5 minutes. You might recognize this guy from the hit TV show Everybody Loves Raymond. Please welcome Ray Romano. And Ray walks on stage, and the crowd goes fucking nuts. Holy fuck, Ray Romano, right? And as he's on stage, Seinfeld and Chris Rock show up. And they also want to go on. All right? This has happened once in 20 years of me doing stand-up. This was the most unbelievable night, right? So they go downstairs. Ray Romano finishes. So Godfrey goes back up, and he kept doing these great intros that was making the crowd lose their shit. He goes, keep going for Ray Romano. He goes, all right, we got another special guest just dropped in. You might recognize this guy from the Chris Rock show. Please welcome Chris Rock. And then the fucking place, standing ovation. Holy fuck, we got to see fucking Ray Romano and Chris Rock. And now at this point, every comic knows that Seinfeld is waiting in the wings. So we're all standing there, huddled down in the little hallway, waiting to watch this crowd lose its fucking shit like those soccer moms on fucking Oprah, right? Chris Rock kills it. Godfrey goes up. Chris Rock, everybody. Crowd is like out of breath from fucking laughing. And then he goes, we had another guest drop by. At this point, people are just like, what the fuck, right? He goes, you might recognize this next guy from the hit TV show Seinfeld. And I hear this guy go, no fucking way, in the crowd. And he goes, please welcome Jerry Seinfeld. And like half the crowd almost fainted. He goes up and just fucking destroys. And like people are like elated. They have like when he's done, everybody's face is just like in pain from grilling, from grinning. I swear to God, this is a true story, right? So Seinfeld ends, and he goes, all right, keep it going for Jerry Seinfeld. He goes, all right, you guys ready for more show? The crowd's like flipping out, and they go, okay, this next comedian, and the crowd at this point is so goddamn spoiled. I'm standing there in the doorway waiting to go on, and everybody is trying to look around my head for somebody famous to come on, and he's bringing up me. He goes, please, you know, you might have seen him on VH1's I Love the 80s, MTV's Apartment 2F. Please welcome Bill Burr. And I went on stage, and there was a noticeable sense of disappointment at that point when I walked up to the mic. And the only way I got out of it was I just addressed it. I was like, that's right, welcome back to reality. This is what the fuck you paid for. And then everybody laughed, and like, all right, he addressed it. He addressed the fact that we're disappointed to see him, and at that point, they kind of went along for the ride. And I swear to God, an hour later, Dave Chappelle went up, and he went up. And that was... So that night and the night I just did were the two most unreal nights that I've ever seen in stand-up comedy. I swear to God, that cellar story, I know it sounds like some bullshit. I swear to God, it's fucking true. And I don't know why I'm thinking that you're doubting it. So if you ever go to New York City and you just want to go out and check out some fucking comics, go to the Comedy Cellar right down on West 3rd and McDougal, right? I've said that like 9 million times in my life. Flagging down a cab back in the day when you could do 8 sets on the weekend every night. Flagging down the cab with your spot money. Take me to West 3rd and McDougal. Do you want me to take the highway? No, you fucking asshole. It's going to cost me an extra $7. Okay, there's a lot of traffic.
All right, you dick. Fucking take the other one, you son of a bitch. What do I care? What do I care? Someday I'll have my own podcast, and I'll be selling ringtones at 99 cents a whack, just raking in the fucking money. That was one of those times where I was just like, you know what? There's not enough lightning in the world. You know, just as far as the odds of being struck by lightning, we need to bring that average up. Because the amount of fucking morons out there versus actually intelligent people, you're going to hit a fucking moron. You know? Basically going to hit a moron or you're going to hit the ocean. Those are going to be the top two, in that order. Even though the fucking world is 3/4 fucking water, you still got a higher chance as lightning to fucking hit a moron. That's I'm telling you, that's my goddamn theory. And that's what I want the new stat to be. Rather than being like, you know, the odds of getting hit by lightning are higher than blah, blah, blah. I want it to turn into, I want so much lightning that the new stat is the odds of an intelligent person actually being hit by lightning are X, Y, and Z. Do you like how in my own little Stalin-esque world that I'm actually intelligent and everybody else is just a sea of morons? Huh? You don't have thoughts like that? Murderous thoughts? I was actually talking to this broad up in San Francisco, and I got this whole chunk about hitting women that I've been doing on stage, and it's actually something embarrassing I have to admit about myself. As much as I do the comedy thing for a living, I'm really bad at picking up on sarcasm. I don't know why. I use sarcasm. I'm sarcastic, right? But for some reason, when someone uses it against me, I just, like that old guy downstairs. Remember I told you that shit last year? When I was dragging my Christmas tree down the stairs? And he stuck his head out the window and he just goes, "Beautiful morning, isn't it?" And he had this fucked up look on his face, but he said, "Beautiful morning, isn't it?" So I was confused and I just went, yeah, it is a beautiful morning. And I'm thinking, why is he yelling with that twisted up look on his face? And then I walked around the corner. I was like, oh, he didn't mean it. What he really meant was, you're making a lot of fucking noise, ruining this beautiful morning. So he got me. Then I always end up feeling stupid. So, you know, I'm doing this whole chunk on hitting the broads over there, right? And I'm standing afterwards, whoring myself out, right? Selling my DVD, showing a little bit of leg, doing what I got to do. And this fucking woman is walking out, and her husband is sort of shuffling her out. And she starts going, oh, yeah, she has this, once again, the twisted up look on her face. She goes, "Thanks for the domestic violence jokes. I really appreciated it. I really appreciated the domestic violence jokes. Thanks a lot for the domestic violence jokes." That's what she was doing. And because she was saying thanks, it went totally past my head. I was more just confused by her facial expression. So she's sitting there going, "Yeah, I really appreciated it. Thanks a lot." I'm literally just waving, going, "All right, glad you enjoyed the show." Which is funny because it probably pissed her off more, but I was sincerely thanking her, completely missing her sarcasm. What she was really saying was, I've either dealt with that personally, or that's happening to somebody right now, or has happened to someone, or I grew up with it or whatever, and you brought up bad memories and you ruined my fucking evening. That's what she was really saying. But of course, I took it at face value, which actually, when I look back on it, I think makes it even funnier, because who's kidding who? She already thinks I'm a fucking moron at that point, you know? So it would have made her a little bit happier if I tried to appear intelligent.
If, like, actually, you missed the point of that joke. What I was really trying to do is expose the hypocrisy of some of the relationships between the male and female sexes.
If I went that route, you know, then she could have gotten this whole. But the fact that I literally was the moron that she thought I was, and then that there was this whole line of people. You know what I just realized? I should be struck by lightning. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm one of those fucking morons.